Hello everybody. In this Shotcut tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to edit your Quest recordings and turn them into nice looking videos. I'm going to walk you step by step through this process so you can follow along. That'll make this a longer video, but I won't be skipping any steps that you need. Now, this won't make you an expert, but it will give you the opportunity to take your Quest recordings and turn them into videos to share with friends or publish on YouTube. It'll work on any recordings you make on the Quest, or other recordings that you can pull into Shotcut. I'm going to show you how to import your recording, edit the recording, add filters to enhance your videos, create a title and captions, export your video, and lastly, if you want, convert the video into a widescreen format. Now, about 90% of you watching my videos are not subscribed. I would love to change that number. If this video helps you out, please help me out. I can use all the friends I could get, and I would love to get some cash out of those YouTube overlords one day. Let's get started. I pulled the video and some pictures off my Quest onto my PC. They're ready to edit. Let's go ahead and open Shotcut. When you open Shotcut, it'll look something like this. They might be slightly different depending on how often you've used yours or not. First thing we want to do is let's go ahead and open File, browse to the video you're trying to bring in, open that up. When it opens up, it will start playing right away in the player. Go ahead and hit that pause button. You'll see it's square. The videos off the Oculus are in a 1024 by 1024 resolution. You know that by clicking on Properties. You can click it here or here, and the resolution is indicated right here. When you publish the video like this, it'll be square, and in YouTube it will have space on each side. Works just fine. Lots of people do it that way. No reason to change if you don't want to, but I will show you how to convert it into a widescreen format when we're all done. To edit it, we're going to drag this video down onto the timeline. You'll see it populates the timeline, but the video is much longer than this. Let's go ahead, zoom to timeline right there. Click on that. It'll put the video on here unless it's really long. Should still all fit here. The end goal of this for the demo is to edit this down to a video that's about a minute long. I'm going to take something from the front, take some from the back, and make the video out of that. I'm not going to concentrate too much on content. To start with, take your slider and find a section of video that you want to keep. Right now, I want to throw off the stuff on the end. I'm going to put the slider here. Then I'm going to click this button here, Split It Playhead. When you do that, it splits the video into two sections at that mark. I'm going to click on that and just delete it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep a small section of this. I'm going to split it playhead again. I'm going to move it off. I'm going to keep this one. Let's go down toward the front. Split that off. I'm going to delete that. Let's click on that zoom to timeline. You notice it continues to expand out the video, so it makes it a little easier to work with smaller videos. Let's figure out where we want to start this thing. Seems like a good spot. Let's click that there. Let's delete that first section. I'm going to go ahead and slide this to the beginning of the timeline. For about 30 seconds. There's a black spot. Besides moving the slider by hand, you can also use your arrow keys to go forward and back. That's good if you're just trying to get it to a particular frame. It's hard to do with the slider. All right, I'm going to grab it right there. I'm going to split it, select that, and as I said, you can also just right-click and hit Remove. That will eliminate that from the timeline. Now we've got it down to about a 2-minute section of video. Let's get another small section here. Delete that. And now we're just a little bit more than a minute. We'll go ahead and work with that for now. You see we've got a space there in the middle. You want to make sure that this button, toggle snapping, is highlighted. If it's not, the ends won't necessarily snap to each other. This works much better when you do that. Notice they're now together. We've got a beginning, we've got an end, we've got a transition in the middle. Video's a little bit more than a minute, but I'm going to take care of that shortly. Let's go ahead and add some filters. Filters do a whole lot of stuff. The way you do that is click Filters, select a section, click Filters. You can do it at the top as well. Click the plus button. You'll have favorites, video, audio, and time. Favorites will be pre-populated with a few. If you click on any of these and you see the little star icon, if you click that and then jump back to favorites, you'll see that's where it is. If you don't want it there, just click it and it'll go away. We're going to add fade in video filter. It defaults at a second. We don't need a second. Let's go for 3. A little more of an effect. Hit enter. And if you look down here at your video, you'll see part of it shaded out. Let's see what that filter does. Just like it says, fades in the video. Now we've got a transition at the beginning. Let's add a transition at the end. We're going to fade out video. Let's set that for 3 as well. Oops. If I could type. And then at the end of the video, there it goes. All right, got a big beginning and an end. We've got some transition in there with some filter. Let's create a transition in the middle. If you look at that, that's rather abrupt right there in the middle. Let's go ahead and create a transition. Since I want this at about a minute, and I've got about 1 minute and 10 seconds, I don't mind that transition. So just slide the piece on top of the other, and you'll see there's an overlap there in the middle. When you let go of it, it creates a transition area. Let's take a look. Oh, that's a much nicer transition than that abrupt video change. You can see what the transitions are doing by clicking on it and then click Properties. And you can change those properties up here, but you can also change the transition. The one we're using as default. Let's go ahead and go with Iris Circle. Let's take a look at that. Oh, opens up in the middle. That's a very nice effect as well. The transition you use is up to you. Any of them will work. Find something you like. You can experiment a little bit. We've got the basics of our video now. Beginning, end, transition in the middle, some filters so it looks good. Now we want to add a title and maybe some captions. To do that, I will tell you up front, it's possible to just add video onto the track. The problem with that is once you do it, it's hard to adjust and you have to have sections of the video. What we want to do is add a second video track. So go to Track, Operations, Add Video Track. I'm going to slide this up so it's easier to see. Go ahead and make sure that track is selected. Open Other and Text. Make sure the background color is transparent. Go ahead and click OK. That'll open the text simple box. And let's just drag this, since we're going to create a title for beginning, down here on there. And let's make this 10 seconds long. And if you move the slider back over where it's on top of it, you'll see it says Edit, which is the default. Now, I don't like text simple. You can't format it. You can't do a whole lot with it. Let's go ahead and remove selected filter. Make sure this transparent area is selected. Remove selected filter.
Notice the transparent area is still there. And then we're going to add text rich. This puts a box in here which you can jump into. And type in any way you want. The nice thing about this is you can format it. You can use different text, which is exactly what we're going to do, just like using a word processor. Let's go ahead and go with Titania. I like Titania. Oh, I want to do Shotcut. Demeo Video Demo. Kind of rings. And if you don't like white, let's pick another color. I like yellow. Yellow stands out. We can also change the font size. Let's make this a little smaller. Let's go with 64. There we got 2 lines. You can also change the justification. We'll center that up. Hey, I like that. Looking at it, it's going to block that top part of that video. I'm just going to size the window down and then move it. Much easier to work with rich text. Let's take a quick look at that, see what it looks like. Play it. Oh, I like it. It looks good, but it's there the whole time. Let's go ahead and add 2 filters that you're already familiar with. So select that area, make sure filters are selected, click that plus button. Let's fade in video. And I want to match this with the video underneath fading in. So let's set that for 3. And what you want to do is select adjust opacity right there. You'll notice it puts that area in. Let's go ahead and fade out video. Set that for 3. Same thing, adjust opacity. And this is going to give us a very nice effect. Let's go ahead and watch it. Title fades in, fades out, looks quite professional, and it's easy to do. All right, now you want to add captions to your video. This is super easy because we've already created this title place. You can do anything you want, but let's go ahead and select that and copy it and pick another space down here on the timeline. Let's go ahead and just paste it. Now, it will put the same there, but it's already got the filters in it. Let's go ahead and edit the caption. I really like Demeo. I don't want it to run for 10 seconds, though. I'm just going to size it down. There we go. I'm going to unselect it so so the effect comes in, and let's watch that. Now we have the complete package. We've got a beginning, an end, transition in the middle, a title, and captions. You've got everything you need to publish your video. So let's do that. Go to Export. You can also do it up at the top, as always. Select YouTube, Export File. Figure out where you're going to save it. Hit Save. You will see the job start up here in the corner. We're going to wait for this to process, and then we'll take a look at it. Once you get the little check mark next to it, the job is done. We can go and look at that video. Let's open that up. Take a look. See how it came out. About to start a game of Demeo. I have a party of 2 bards and 2 guardians. All right, that's good enough. I think that came out nice. You can see how that all works. You've just exported it and it's ready to upload to YouTube. If you would like to convert this to a widescreen format, that's what I'm doing next. We're going to go back and select this lower video track, and we're going to do this in two ways. But go ahead and select that lower video track. First, go to Settings and Video Mode. Then go to 1080 by 30 frames per second. Select that. You notice the video shows up in here, and it has black space on each side. We're going to fix that with a filter. Select the track, go to Filters, Add. We want Size, Position, and Rotate. If you don't have it right there, it'll be in video. There's a lot of options here. I'm going to tell you don't mess with any of them except Zoom to start with. And put in 177. I know this from experience. Go ahead and hit Enter. You notice that fills up the window. Let's take a quick look at it. All right, looks good, fills up the window. It does crop the top and bottom somewhat, so it's just going to catch that middle area of interest. You can adjust this up and down or size it more. That's up to you. I'm not going to get into that right now. Because we resized this, if you look at it, it might be just a tad fuzzy. Depends on how the resolution you had. Let's go ahead and add another filter as needed. This one is Sharpen. Like I said, if you don't have it in favorites, look under Video. Click Sharpen, and the default is 50/50. Let's go ahead and change this slider up to 60, maybe 65. I'm looking at it on the video, and I like it somewhere in there. I was just eyeballing to see if the words got a little sharper, if the pictures got a little sharper. That's what I see. You may have to experiment somewhat. Now, you've added those two filters. What did that do to your titles? Well, your titles were set up for 1080, and they basically zero out on the side. So what you do is just go ahead and select that, and you can recenter these things however you want. I'm actually going to set that off to the side, and let's go look at this one. We want to select that window. I like the Demeo is awesome. Let's go ahead and spread that out there. And let's go ahead and upsize this. This is the advantage of using that rich text in your files and your captions, because it's easy to manipulate after the fact and it's not embedded in your original video. We've widescreened it. We've got our captions set. Let's go ahead and export this. Same thing. Export, YouTube, export file. Tell it where we're going to send it to. I'm going to call it the same thing, only let's call it 1920. It'd be easier. Let's call it widescreen. This is going to take a little bit longer to process because it is resizing the video as it goes, and it's also sharpening it. You're going to have to give it time. All right, that video is done processing it. Let's go take a look at that one.
Here we are, about to start a game of Demeo.
All right, I think that came out quite nice. It looks very good. Takes a little longer to process because we've upsized it, but it's in that 1920 by 1080 format. All right, hopefully you found this helpful and it can help you with your own videos. I'm going to tag both of these formats at the end of this video, but effectively this is the end of the tutorial. Y'all be good. Take care. Bye-bye now. Here we are, about to start a game of Demeo. I have a party of 2 bards and 2 guardians, and we're going through that portal. Let's go get them. I can pick up the guy. Yep, the game has glitched out. This is interesting. This is a first for me. Alright, so I attack the slime. I'm standing on the slime. I hit the slime. Here we are, about to start a game of Demeo. I have a party of 2 bards and 2 guardians, and we're going through that portal. Let's go get them. I can pick up the guy. Yep, the game has glitched out. This is interesting. This is a first for me. Alright, so I attack the slime. I'm standing on the slime. I hit the slime.